Our next banking principle is mortgage amortization. And throughout our conversation tonight, we're going to be referring to a $400,000 loan with a 6% interest rate amortized over 30 years. The payment on said loan is $2,398.20. And if we look at the breakdown in month number one, we see $398.20 going towards principal and $2,000 going towards interest. Guys, that is not 6% on any planet. That is 83% of your payment going towards interest in month number one. But the good news is every single time you make a payment, a little bit more goes towards principal, which means a little bit less goes towards interest. And if we look at the breakdown in month number two, I wasn't kidding when I said it was just a little bit. It is less than a $2 difference. Is it any wonder that it takes this type of loan 30 years to pay off? If we look at the breakdown by the end of year number one, we would have paid over $28,000 into this loan, but our equity position is less than $5,000. In year five, we now have paid over $143,000 into this loan, meaning that only $27,000 went to equity and over $116,000 went where? Towards interest. And what did that interest buy us? Did we get a few extra acres out back? Did we get a few extra bedrooms? No, we got absolutely nothing because interest, that's another word for bank profit. And that $116,000 did you and your family no more good than had you taken it out back, lit it on fire, and watched it burn. And the crazy thing is, this is where the average American has been conditioned to refinance and start that vicious cycle all over again. And if you think that's an exaggeration, when you guys go to work tomorrow, ask your colleagues, ask your friends, hey, how many years do you have left to go on your mortgage? You're going to hear 27, 29, 28, 30. I just refinanced. Very seldom do you come across anyone who has less than 25 years to go. But let's continue with our example. By year 10, we've now paid over $287,000 on this loan, and the bank has given us credit for just over 65 grand. Year 21, this is a very special year in this mortgage. We have now paid over $604,000 on a $400,000 loan. But the good news is we finally reached the halfway point. We now owe just under $200,000 and we have just over $200,000 in equity. How 21 years is half of 30? I will never understand that. But that is just the absurdity of bankers' math. And if we are to make every single mortgage payment on time on this $400,000 loan with a 6% interest rate amortized over 30 years, we would pay back $863,354. Friends, that's not 6%. That is 116% more than what we borrowed. And you know what I call that? That's legalized theft. It's legal. You signed the documents. It's theft. You didn't understand what you were signing because no one has ever taken the time to educate you on the difference between 6% annual percentage rate and 116% total interest percentage. You see, friends, the banks, they sell us on APR, but they charge us on tip. And as my buddy hanging on the wall behind me always said, those who understand interest, they're destined to earn it. But those who don't, they're doomed to pay it. Now, in this scenario, who do you think understands interest? Oh, yeah, the banks. They totally understand it. But don't you think it's time that we get smart about our own money? Now, I know some of you are thinking, ooh, I totally dodged that bullet. I don't have a 6% rate on my mortgage. I have a 2%, a 4%, a 3%. Well, friends, if you take any notes on our conversation tonight, this is the one that I want you to write down. And I want you to write it big, and I want you to write it bold. I want you to underline it and give it an exclamation point. Heck, I want you to go to the chat right now so they know that you're listening and type in rate does not matter. Yeah, I just said that. Rate doesn't matter, at least not as much as you think it does. What actually matters is the type of product you are using and how that rate is calculated. Thank you in the chat. I can tell you guys are paying attention. Awesome.